What is up, everybody? Especially those guys that ask questions. This is my Ask Me Anything car-related vlog post. I have my fucking huge dog chewed up notebook. Go ahead and get this thing open. There we go. Don't read and drive, kids. Don't read and drive. It's very dangerous. So, lots of you guys asked questions, and I had some other ones, some spillover from the last one. And unfortunately, I factory reset my phone because it was acting up like crazy. So, the other ones were lost that those ones spilled over from. So, sorry about that. I'll ask another one, and then you guys can ask me more questions, and I'll fucking do this again. This is a really fun thing for me to do, so I don't go insane on my commute to work and, you know, murder somebody. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this Ask Me Anything car-related questions get going, and I'll start answering them. I'll start from the top. Clockerino, I think it's Subikin, that is his little parentheses at the end there. Everyone's got parentheses now. Wonder who started that. Another thing I wonder is who started the term CTZen, like a citizen. Whoever did that, they should get a fucking cap, man. They should get one of those car throttle caps for free and a bunch of stickers and shit. That's a very cool thing. I don't know who started it. I hope it's not a staff member. That'd be kind of shitty if I'm just like patting them on the back. Pretty sure it was a citizen that actually came up with that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the questions. Now I look like a moron who's sitting at a stoplight talking to myself. So, Subikin asked me what my favorite motorsport is and what my favorite parts of it are. And, you know, professional-wise, I have to say rally. Rally is the coolest, like actual in-world rally. Like, rallycross is cool and all, but I think that the in-world rally for professional status is fucking awesome. Voice cracked a little bit there. I'm still having a little bit of cold. You know, some of the best things about it, of course, are the olden times, back in the late 70s, early 80s, the Group B. You see, that stuff was so great because of all of the regulations they had to go by, and the fact that they had to make a certain amount of production cars for that specific race car. So they had to make a race car, they had to make a production at a certain amount of production cars that were the same as it, but for the road. I think that's a really cool aspect of it. And another really cool aspect of it, of course, is the spectators, especially back with Group B. They had almost as much balls as the drivers and the navigators. And navigators with in-world rally, it's insane. I mean, they have some of the most balls that I can ever think of. I mean, like, the drivers themselves have some serious balls, but the guys that just sit there and navigate through all the turns and the dips and the jumps and the different terrains and everything, letting them know before they get to that point so they can compensate for it and drive it perfectly and get a good score and good time and everything. That's something to be said about the coolness of a sport. And, you know, that's seriously is my favorite one. But amateur-wise, I'd have to say dirt track racing. The dirt track racing that they have in St. Helens over the summertime is awesome. And I remember growing up, going to Mesa Marin, they have basically just like stock cars, just gutted out completely, big ass V8s in them, and they would just go around a dirt track as fast as they could, man. It was like NASCAR on dirt. It's the shit, man. It's like Roots NASCAR, but back in the 40s. And it was just so damn cool to watch, and that is a really cool one. It's a very challenging sport because of the dirt, rear-wheel drive, and everything. It's just a very, very cool sport to watch. And then, of course, also they have this nice rivalry between a few guys in town, a couple of them with WRXs, and then they have boosted Dodge Neons, and that's like the rivalry, man. They don't have like Lancer and Subi rivalry. It's fucking Dodge Neons versus WRXs, man. And those Neons, they keep up, man. They get going. They are quick little cars, man. So yeah, amateur style dirt track racing is probably the coolest and my favorite actual motorsport, but professionally speaking, rally. In-world rally. That's definitely the coolest. The coolest that has ever been. It's the most challenging thing for a vehicle, besides like Dakar, or is it Dakar? I don't know how to say it. Besides that, I mean, it's the most challenging thing, like the snow in Finland and Sweden and all that. And then they have like the Oregon Rally has that. They have a bunch of mud, dirt, gravel, and asphalt that's all shitty. It's so cool. It's so challenging for the car itself and of course the driver. That's why I like rallycross or rally style driving more than all the other ones. I mean, I love a lot of other motorsports. I respect NASCAR very much because it kind of brought motorsport to America, really. And it was just, it's kind of just a lot of this. I don't really know too much about it. And truth be told, I don't know too much about rally, but I know what they have to do to actually get out there and do that. And it's something that I respect because it's hard enough to drive in a day-to-day basis. And when you're driving something balls to the wall, 120 miles per hour over fucking gravel, that's something to be said about your driving prowess. Anyway, thank you for the question, Clockerino Subikin. Let's go ahead and go to Castrit. God, I know I've asked him how to pronounce it before. I'm gonna say castrate, but not castrate. That's weird. It's castrat. It's not how to pronounce it though. I suck at pronouncing names, especially ones that are from other countries and other ethnicities. I cannot pronounce them for shit. I would make a terrible substitute teacher, and I had that for myself. That's why I go by Mark Mason now. I've always been called Stefan, Steven, Stephanie, all the time. So, sorry about pronouncing your names wrong, everybody. Anyway, you asked, you asked a couple of questions. You asked, what do I think for apocalypse vehicles? And of course, also you asked, would I buy an ex-Army vehicle and from where? You know, an apocalypse vehicle has to do a few things for me. A lot of people think they should just have a big-ass Ford Econoline lifted, armor plating, and fucking everything else under the sun that you need for like a bug-out vehicle. But I think that one thing you really need to make sure you have for an apocalypse vehicle, or any sort of bug-out kind of vehicle, is fuel efficiency. Really, like that's a huge thing, and the ability to get fuel easily. So the most used fuel is unleaded gasoline, petrol, if you want to call it that, over on the other side of the pond. Yeah, so you have to compensate for that. You have to be able to get good gas mileage, because you know you don't want to just break down and die when you're getting chased by marauders. And of course you don't want to be chased by marauders in something that has like 90 horsepower. So you have to have that little balance. So I'm thinking like a V6, some sort of V6, or a nice straight 5. I don't know if a turbo would be a very good thing to have in a post-apocalyptic situation unless you're some mechanical genius. But body style, wagon. A wagon would be the best post-apocalyptic vehicle. It is. Something with four-wheel drive, a little bit of a lift. I think the best one would be either a Legacy GT with a lift, or a Volvo XC70. Any generation, really. You're gonna get good enough gas mileage. You're gonna have enough power to get away from things if you want, and you can always just budget bulletproof your car. Put a bunch of phone books in the door wells, and I mean, you could get bulletproof glass if you're gonna build it before the time comes, but you know that's probably you're not gonna have that luck. But you know, just steel plating and stuff like that, of course, wouldn't add too much weight, and it would give you a little bit more bulletproof situation. Yeah, and that's seriously a thing that would happen in a post-apocalyptic situation. you have all these gangs that are around everywhere, and other problems, like you could be getting invaded by some other country, and if you want to have a vehicle that you can actually survive in, you're going to need some sort of bulletproof situation going on. Any sort of budget kind of stuff, like phone books filled with glue. You can put glue in the phone books to make them super hard, and then just put them inside the door wells, inside the door frame. Anyway, wagon, XC70 or a Legacy GT, something with a little bit of power, something that's got a lot of space inside so you can actually sleep inside of it. That's definitely my idea for that. Other than that, a Humvee would be pretty badass. If I could buy a Humvee, like an actual Humvee, I would totally do it. Or an old CJ Jeep, the Willys, 40s and 50s Army Jeep. That would be cool. Another really cool one would be, and I swear to God I'm not a fucking Nazi, I'm not. I am a huge World War II enthusiast, and I like all of the things about World War II. Well, I don't like all the things about World War II, but I like all the stuff that went along with it, all of the technology and all of the vehicles and weaponry and everything like that, and the whole history of it is great. It's a very interesting story. If you've never heard it, you should look it up. It's something that changed our world forever. Anyway, a Schwimm wagon would be the shit. I would love a Schwimm wagon. I think it's fucking cool, man. It's an amphibious thing. It's basically a thing, but it's a boat. It's so fucking cool. It's like one of the coolest things. Another really cool one is a Volvo. Volvo made a sedan back in the 60s, and 50s, I think. But it was an army sedan. It had a lift to it, had big meaty fucking tires on it. Badass. Yeah, pretty much any ex-military vehicle I would buy. Absolutely. I would love to buy a plane. That would be the shit. Get my pilot's license, buy an old Spitfire or a Mustang. Oh, God, a Mustang would be so sick. Oh. Anyway, thanks for that question. Those questions, Clockrino. Wasn't that you? No, that was Castriot. Castriot. I don't know how to say your name, man. Sorry. Now we have Gurminda. That's how I read your name, man. I'm sorry. I know it's not your name. I know your name is not Gurminda, and I know that I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. But yeah, Gurminda Baines. He asked me, should Ford make a Fiesta RS? And he asked another question too, but I'll get to that in a second. Fiesta RS. Now, what does the Focus RS have in it? A turbo 5-cylinder? I don't know enough about it. I don't know if it's turbo 4 or if it's turbo 5. Or if it's V6. Ugh, I don't know. But I think that a Fiesta RS would be way badass. It'd be cooler than the Fiesta ST. And the Fiesta ST is pretty fucking cool. It's got the same engine as the Focus ST, but in a tiny little package. So I guess if you put the same engine and four-wheel drive, I don't know. I don't know if I would want a Fiesta RS to have four-wheel drive. Because for me, when it's a hot hatch, it should be front-wheel drive. That's just iconic hot hatch layout. You get that front-wheel drive precision, and the handling of it is amazing. I mean, Focuses and Fiestas have had some of the best handling of any cars. They're amazing cars, and they have probably some of the best front-wheel drive chassis in history. That's including the Corrado, the Prelude, the Honda Civic EK. I mean, put all those in the same bunch, and you got the Fiesta ST and the Focus STs and all the super awesome Focuses and Fiestas over the years, like the Fiesta Z-Tech. You get all the... Oh, for Christ's sake, you fucking cocksucking motherfuckers. Get this goddamn fucking road finished. Shit. Fuck. Or have signs way back there to let me know that the fucking road's ending. Dick cheeses. Anyway. A Focus, I mean, a Fiesta ST would be badass. I mean, a Fiesta RS would be fucking sick. I wish they would make one, and I hope they do. And if they do make it, I really fucking hope they don't put four-wheel drive with it, especially not a drift button. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Focus RS. I think it looks great. I think the numbers are awesome. I think four-wheel drive is pretty cool, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's like a hyper hatch, and it's in that new category of hyper hatches, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, you also asked the question, roadkill versus Mighty Car Mods, what do I prefer? Well, I don't watch either enough, really. I've only seen tidbits of both. But what I have seen from both, I'm going to have to say roadkill. Mainly because of the Rotson. I mean, the Rotson's fucking sick. And General Mayhem's awesome, too. I've seen that one. But the Rotson, you put a fucking, what was it? It was a Chevy V6 with a Duramax turbo. That's just sick as fuck. That's badass. It sounded great. It looked like shit, and it was quick. And it had all these oil problems, and they had to like do all this fabrication and everything. So much cooler. I don't really, I don't watch Mighty Car Mods enough to know really enough about them, and I seriously couldn't tell you one of the things they built except for Daisy. I mean, Daisy's pretty sweet. Wasn't that an STI or WRX swapped Beetle? Pretty sure that's them. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go with roadkill because of the Rotson and General Mayhem. So anyway, let's go ahead and go on. Thank you, Gurminda, for those questions. Let's go to Joel Chan, or Chan. Sorry again if I pronounce you guys' names wrong. DC2 Integra or DC5 Integra? DC motherfucking 5. It's way cooler. It looks better. It's more practical. Even though it's like a non-practical Civic, it's way fucking cooler. And one, they have this look about them that's kind of like menacing innocence, I guess you could call it. It has these headlights that are on the cusp of just malice, and then also just this nice little cutesy look to them, which is great because you can turbo them, you can build them up like crazy and have them naturally aspirated and whoop the shit out of a lot of people. They are quick little cars. The RS, or I mean the Type R or the S-Type, or Type S. I don't know what they're called over everywhere. But also, I like the name of it over here, the AMACR RSX. That's just cool sounding. It just sounds great. And they again, their exhaust note sounds great. They're very roomy inside. I've been inside a few of them. Haven't driven any, unfortunately. I would love to have one. DC5s has got to be some of my favorite, among my favorite Hondas, and I have a few favorite Hondas. But yeah, definitely the DC5 over the DC2. That's mainly because of the looks, and yeah, pretty much just looks. So yeah, thanks again, Joel, for that question. Let's go ahead and go to Range Rover All-Wheel Drive for Life Hatchback Mafia, in your parentheses. He asked me Range Rover or G-Class. Well, I'm gonna say they're both kind of in the same realm of prices, aren't they? I mean, the ones that are in the same performance level. I mean, they're basically the same price range. So basically, only based on looks, I'm gonna have to go with the G-Class. G-Class is just, it's classic, it's modern, it's got all the perks and everything of having a modern vehicle with that beautiful boxy and also highly capable body style, and it's a Merc. I mean, I can't really choose a Range Rover over a Merc. Just, unless it's like an A-Class versus a Range Rover Evoque. I mean, I would take the Evoque. But, and that's the other thing. Oh, hello, T-Type, or TL Type S. Hello, I love you. I love you. God, those things are so sexy. Anyway. So yeah, sorry Range Rover, I know which one you would choose, but G-Class, all the way, all the way. I love Range Rovers, don't get me wrong. if I was to spend the money on something like that, I would get a Mercedes-Benz, definitely. I don't know why. It wouldn't be easier to maintain or cheaper to maintain. And they both can do pretty much the same thing. But, again, looks. It's just a looks thing. Ooh, hello, GMC. Very, very nice. Dickhead looking dude. Anyway, thanks for that question, Range Rover. All-wheel drive for life. Hatchback Mafia. Now we go to Driv 3N to Der1V. I think it's Driven to Drive. He's got a nice Mustang. He asked the question, a very, very good question. Most useless body style. Ergo, coupes, sedans, wagons, blah, 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 blah. And it all depends on region, really. If you live in a city, an SUV is not going to make any goddamn sense. So, you know, I mean, if you live somewhere with a lot of highways, V8 is not going to make sense if you're always commuting. It's one of those things that it depends on the person, and I hate that fucking answer. I really hate that answer, but it's got to be said right now. It all depends on you. For me, for my lifestyle and for what I like to do and for what for the luxury that I am accustomed to, the most useless body style for me is an Econobox. A small, tiny little front-wheel drive, 3-cylinder thing. Great for the city. Awesome for the city. Good for gas mileage. Yes, great. You can't haul a goddamn thing in it. You can't do anything. Like, if you wanted, I mean, when I go grocery shopping, I spend $250. I fill up that fucking that whole back area. I do. And I do grocery shopping maybe twice a month. And we go through a lot of it. I got myself and 2 women that I live with. So we go through a lot of food, you know. So there's one thing. The other thing is, you know, if you wanted to go on, you know, a long trip with a lot of highway, small cars kind of suck. I mean, they're great for gas and everything, but they have shitty ride quality from what I've been in. I mean, I've been in a few really shitty ones, like a Geo Metro, which is the answer to the car guy's question. Smallest car I've ever driven, Geo Metro. Sucked ass. Sucked balls. It was fucking terrible. It was awful. God-awful car. Terrible. But yeah, so Econobox. Tiny little Econobox. Useless. Absolutely fucking useless to me. Another one that is also useless, and it would pertain to this beautiful area, and especially if you went up a little bit north, like in you know, Midwestern Washington, it wouldn't really make sense to have a convertible. It makes, I mean, it's cool and everything, but imagine getting stuck in the rain on a drive, because it can change. The weather could, right now, a cloud could roll in and it could start raining, like right now. That's just how it is here. It's fucking crazy. I don't know if it's like that anywhere where anybody else lives, but here, I remember driving and I seriously went through snow, sleet, hail, and rain, and sunshine in one commute. That commute that you just saw me drive on, I went through all of those weathers in that small area. That's how crazy it is here. I mean, it's probably like that a lot of places, but that's how it is here. So it would be pointless to have a convertible because you'd barely ever get to put the fucking top down, so it's pointless. Yeah, and also you lose a lot of practicality with a convertible. Supercars as well. Supercars, absolutely pointless to me. I can't ever see any sort of justification in buying one, driving one, anything. I can't ever. I mean, maybe if an FF counts as a supercar, I could have that. It's got some practicality to it, but then again, it's a fucking super quick wagon. I mean, that's cool and all, but I mean, I'd be scared to break it. Anyway, yeah, thanks for that question. Driven to Drive. Now we got Jens, the GTI freak, Pizza, aka Captain Wallpaper. He asked the question. I'm assuming you guys are he's. Sorry if you're not. It's kind of just the go-to with cars. It's guys. If I offended you by calling you a certain gender, fuck you. Anyway, You asked the question, which country makes the best cars in my opinion? Germany. Bias overload. This car is a fantastic car. A lot of other cars that I have been in and driven are German, and they're fantastic. They have a wide range of vehicles. They have everything from supercars and hypercars to sports cars, economy cars, super versatile crossovers and everything like that. And they have the game down pat. And you got your people's cars like Opels and Ford of Europe. A lot of those ones are German. But you have those, and you got a lot of people's cars that are from Germany that are fantastic. They have so many great aspects to them that are beating out Japanese cars. And Japan makes amazing cars. They do. But I think that Germany makes those amazing cars and those body styles and everything, and they just make it better. And Germany, over everything. Everything. Seriously. I mean, American cars are great for your buck and all that stuff, but really, when you get down to a brass tacks and everything, it's German. German cars are the best. The best. Anyway, thank you for that question, Jens, the GTI freak, pizza / Captain Wallpaper. Now, Little Fun asked the question, would I buy a Renault, again, with the names of different things, would I buy one if it was available in the US? Fucking hell yeah. The Megane, or whatever that thing's called, the Menage, that thing, especially the souped up crazy versions of their hot hatches and everything. If they had a Clio, the Clio V6 with the V6 in the mid-engine one, if they had that over here, you better believe I would scoop that fucking thing up so damn quick. I don't care if it's hard to find parts here, but if they were like sold here all the time, oh yeah, Renault, a Citroen, I would definitely buy either one of those. A Peugeot, whatever the hell they're fucking called. Yeah, I would definitely buy them. But a Renault, for fucking hell yes. Oh god, yes. Yes. Renaults are so sexy. Anyway, thanks for that question, Little Fun. The car guy, once again with the 17 fucking questions. I already answered your question. Smallest car that I've ever driven, that was a Geo Metro, and it sucked balls. It was awful. I mean, nothing like this. I couldn't go like that in it. That's for damn sure. Now, the top driving songs. Very good question. For driving in a cruise situation, driving fast, or driving not driving, if you know what I mean. So, let's go ahead and go to the cruise one. I'm going to have to say one of the best cruising songs ever is Fame by David Bowie. Fame takes things over. Oh, awesome fucking song. I always think of just being in some 70s American boat and just rolling up down the Vegas Strip in that thing. Awesome fucking song. Great song for a cruise, definitely. And then for a fast-spirited one, Reptilia by The Strokes. Love that song. The guitar riffs are the shit. The lyrics match up really well, and it's just awesome. It's a great song for a fast drive. And the not driving one, there's a lot of ones. It depends on the mood. It depends on the type of not driving you're doing. I'm gonna have to go with Got to Be More Careful by John Cleary. John Cleary or John Clearly. I'll put links to all these songs in the thing. So that's the answer to the different. It's got a really nice, funky 70s porno kind of vibe to it. So yeah, that one right there. Ultimate Grandma's Car. Hello. But the TDI of this. No, really though, probably the car that my grandma has, Buick Regal, 1999 Buick Regal, something like that. The late 90s American front-wheel drive that used to be rear-wheel drive. Holy shit, 30 fucking minutes. Jesus Christ, I've been talking forever. There's a lot of questions, Anyway, what else do you got? What will I drive when I become about 60, 70 and all that? Mercedes-Benz. That's happening. That's going to happen. For a commuting car. And then once I get up to that age, if I have the money and all that stuff, it's going to be a Porsche as well. But that'll be on the weekends. But yeah, when I get up in years, if I make it that long, knock on fake wood, Mercedes-Benz, definitely. That's one of the other grandma cars, I guess you could say, but I will have AMG of some sort, and I'll drive that fucking thing like a bat out of hell, and I'll be 75, barely able to see, crunched up like this, crotchety as fuck, got a bunch of gray in my beard, my hair's gone. Oh yeah, Mercedes-Benz, definitely. Yeah, that's all the questions. Thanks for watching this fucking 30-minute video of me bullshitting, answering a bunch of questions from guys. Thanks for all the questions. I'll have some more Ask Me Anything car related and Ask Me Anything not car related posts coming up, and I'll upload this one tonight. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Thanks for sticking around if you did. If you did not, suck on Bigfoot's dick.